Hey guys, avsongbird here. It's 9:30 at night out here in Southern California, and I just felt like vlogging. It'd been a while since I did just a random vlog. Bless you, Jack. Him and his damn allergies. I swear my dog has worse allergies than my husband does. Bless you, Jack. You know, I've always been one of those kinds of people that gets quietly fascinated by things. I could sit there and watch the sunlight reflect through the leaves for hours. I could watch clouds drift for hours. I love when someone passes you by and their cologne or perfume smells really good and catches your attention. When it rains, I'm one of those people that loves to watch the raindrops run down the glass. I love music with a good rhythm. Throughout my life, I've been one of those people that I would watch the ants run around on the ground and wonder where they were going, or I would watch people running around and wonder where they were going. And I become so caught up in animals, in people, in music, in life, in the world at large. I become easily fascinated by things, and it distracts me from things sometimes. I know it irritated my mom when I was growing up. Everyone in my family, it irritated them when I was growing up, because we'd be in the middle of a conversation or we'd be in the middle of doing something and they'd look at me and my eyes would go distant, and all of a sudden it was like I was a million miles away. And it wasn't that I was trying to be thoughtless. It wasn't that I didn't care or that I didn't want to pay attention. It's something caught my eye and I was a million miles away in my head. Or I'd be caught up and tell them, sorry, I was watching, the ants run, or I was watching the rain, or, I'd find different people that would catch my attention, and for some reason I would fixate on them to where they would just fascinate me, just by being. There's just different people that fascinate me. And I never really understood why. It was just always the way I've been. And I know now that I'm not living with my parents anymore, now that my brother's moved away, I know it irritates my husband. Especially, my mom always said I didn't have hobbies. I had obsessions that I bounced around between, different things that I was obsessed with. Writing being one of them, music being another one. Different TV shows and movies and characters and books for another. When I find something that interests me, that fascinates me, I become fixated on it, and it's hard to kind of get me off that track once I'm on it. I know there's a couple of shows I'm into now, and my husband gets kind of pissed off because when I'm fixated on different characters or storylines or shows, or, when finales are coming up and I won't stop talking about it and what my theories are and what's going to happen, I know it irritates the shit out of him. But I can't help it. And it's one of those, I could apologize for it, but what would the point be in apologizing for it when it's how I'm hardwired? It would be kind of like my hubby apologizing for the fact that he's very black and white. He's very logical. He's very, this is how things are, and this is how they've always been. This is how they always will be. And the way I think, okay, things are this way, but they could be this way, and they'd be better if they were this way. So between the two of us, it works because we see it both ways. But there wasn't any real specific reason behind this vlog. I was sitting lost in my own head, and I wanted to talk to you guys for a minute because the way I think colors the way I write. It colors the way I see the world. And if I were to meet any of you face to face, for example, if we were in the middle of a conversation and all of a sudden, it started raining, or a rainbow came out, or someone crossed our path, or, an animal happened to come by. If I became lost in it, if I became caught up in it and my eyes kind of went distant, it's not me trying to be rude. It's not me trying to be thoughtless or selfish. I really become fascinated by things. And I think that's a huge part of me, especially when I'm working on my writing. Because when I sit down and I start working on a story, when I start working on a poem, or when I start working on a song, I become so caught up in it that I'll sit and stare at a word on a page for hours on end, or I'll go over the same page 100 different times and read it out loud to myself, and I'll change the way one sentence is worded 100 different times. You know, take a word out, put a word in, take a word out, reword it, change the tense, change, you know, the point of view, until it sounds and feels right to me, until it feels the way it's supposed to be. And I really think, I like to think that it reflects in my work. You know, I'm imaginative, creative, and I think being easily caught up and being easily fascinated is a big part of how I write and my process as a whole. It's kind of why I have a half a dozen stories going at a time at all times, and how I'll be in the middle of a story and have to open Word again or something so that I could hurry up and get a poem out or a song, which is part of the fun. You know, with me writing music and stories and songs and poetry, I don't have to write things just from my life. I have songs I've written that were about other lives that I was writing about and other stories I was writing about. I have love poetry I've written that has absolutely nothing to do with my life, you know. And yeah, I've written poetry and songs about my husband, but I write things that have nothing to do with my life here in this world. It's got to do with, you know, the worlds in my head that I'm trying to share with you guys. And when you guys sit down, if you read any of my work, I hope it comes through that I do put as much work into it as I do. But I wanted to drop in today and kind of give you guys an idea into who I am and kind of how I work. Because I have people, it's so cute. There's people that love different things I'm doing on my channel, or like different things I'm doing on my channel, and they ask, well, why don't you play more games? Or why don't you do a beauty vlog? Why don't you do a fashion vlog? And it makes me laugh because I want you guys to know who I am and how I work. And I'm not big on fashion. I'm jeans and t-shirts and boots. I'm not big on fashion. I know absolutely nothing about hairstyles and curling hair and doing makeup. One thing I've always wanted to learn is eyeliner, you know, doing the eyeliner, but I always went to do it and I was terrified I'd poke myself in the eye and then I'd be like, you know, Songbird the pirate, you know, Songbird with a parrot on my shoulder. But, you know, I've had different people comment on my eyes and tell me, you need to do eye makeup. And it's like, I have no freaking clue how. And I'm clueless when it comes to fashion. I started this channel because I was asked to, as a way of sharing my writing with you guys and me reading my stuff out loud so you guys could listen to it while you were doing other things when you were busy. And me sharing the gaming is just me sharing another of my interests with you and sharing the music. And now I'm getting into the reviews because I do get fixated, and there are things that I'm interested in and completely obsessed with. And, you know, sharing my point of view with you guys opens up to where you could share your points of view with me, because I know there's people out there like me who fixate on things and are fascinated by stories and characters and animals and life and want to share their point of view and maybe don't have anywhere to do it. You know, I want to give you guys a forum where you can come and talk and just be you and not care what people think. You know, my channel's not like everyone else's. My channel is mine. I kind of do whatever my brain happens to be in at the time. But I wanted to explain the way my brain works kind of to you guys for a minute, and I hope it made more sense out loud than it did in my head. I wanted to be honest with you guys. You know, I always try to do that. And yeah, who am I to put my opinion out there and put myself out there? I'm not any big deal. I'm just, you know, girl from the middle of nowhere, California, out in the desert. I am a little housewife and stepmom from the middle of nowhere. Chances are I'm going to spend the majority of my life in the same house. And when my husband retires, we'll move up north and I'll live out, you know, a quiet life up north with my hubby and my dogs and my stepsons, with my little garden going. Hell, maybe I'll branch out and paint. I used to draw. But, you know, if I could spend the rest of my life with my family and sharing my writing with people and spend the rest of my life writing, then I'll consider it a life well lived. You know, but if I could share it with people and I could get out there and, you know, share it with people, then it would be even cooler. So that's what I'm trying to do. It's not me out here, you know, acting like I'm any kind of big deal, trying to take over the world, because I'm not a big deal. And I'm cool with that. I'm just me. So I want to remember that as this goes by. And if the channel gets bigger, cool. It'll give us more people to talk to and interact with. And I'm meeting more writers now, and people are starting to read my writing and tell me they like it, and maybe they want to work with it, and it's cool. It's neat. I have producers following me now, and no, I'm not giving names in case they unfollow me and going, she's name dropping, click. It's like, no, I just have producers following me, and it's cool. You know, and people are starting to listen to my music. It's cool. But chances are I'll live a small life, and I'm cool with that. I wanted to be able to not just be a housewife and stepmom. I wanted a way to share my work with you guys. Because I am obsessed with writing and art and everything, and just being able to share that with you guys and my fixations with you guys, and, you know, to brighten your day if I can, or to give you guys the light bulb that inspires you to go off and create art of your own. If I can do that, then it's time well spent for me. And I don't want to stress about the numbers. I don't want to stress about, well, this person's doing this or that person's doing that, or you're doing this, it's similar to that person you're copying. I don't want to stress about any of that. That's not what I'm about, you guys. I love that there's more people now listening to me, more people interacting with me, talking with me, and wanting to work with me. I love that. You know, it's not about the numbers for me. I was tired of being cooped up and spending most of my time completely by myself in my little office, working on my stories that I knew no one would ever read. You know, and getting a chance to share that with more people, and the possibility of getting to share it with more, and, you know, I love that. For me, it's not about thinking I'm going to be a big deal that makes buco bucks, or, you know, that I'm going to be out there and everyone's going to recognize me. I know that will never happen, and I don't care if it does. Hey, you know, that'd be cool, but if it doesn't, I'm cool without it. That's not why I'm doing this. And those of you that really know me, that have been here from the beginning, those of you that give me a chance and don't judge me on what I do or don't do, or what other people do, or what other people say I do, you know me better than that. So I wanted to talk to you guys for a minute. This has just been me vlogging and rambling, because it's 9:30 at night and I'm supposed to be writing. Because I've been so caught up in doing everything else, I haven't worked on a story in like a week. And when I don't get to write, I go stir crazy. When the world gets hard, when everything gets stressful, you know, I take care of everything, I put it to bed, and then I go once everything's taken care of, and I bury myself in my writing, and I work out whatever problems I've got going until it's worked out in my head and fixed in my head and makes sense. And then I come back out of my writing and I feel normal. So if I don't get a chance to write every now and again and get back to the actual act of writing, then I do go stir crazy. So I consider it my little mini vacation from this reality. I need it from time to time. It's the biggest drug I've ever met. And no, I haven't done a lot of drugs, but I'm saying writing is my drug. And I've been addicted to it since I was a kid. I wouldn't trade it for a single thing. But I'm going to let you guys go, because I have a feeling my dogs are going to start barking, and I don't want to do that to your ears. So this has been avsongbird. I'm going to let you guys go, because barking impending. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and I hope to hear from you guys soon and to see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.